Hello, this is Latricia Renee. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about giving up. So generally speaking, giving up is seen as a bad thing, a negative. And for the most part, that's true. And that's especially true in art. It's very easy to get discouraged as an artist and want to give up because you don't feel like you're good enough. But you'll never really get anywhere unless you actually put in the work and practice. However, there are some cases where it's actually best to just walk away. So that's what this video is about. For those of you who have been watching my videos, you know that I have been working very hard on a comic, Little Red Riding Hood comic that I was very excited about. The original idea for this was because there was another comic that I really wanted to work on, but it was a very, very big project, a big undertaking, and I had never done anything like that before. So I decided that I was going to start small. So I decided to do the Little Red Riding Hood comic. It was only going to be 20 pages. I was going to be able to finish the entire thing, learn about the comic making process, and then be able to move on to my big project that I wanted to do. Unfortunately, it has not worked out like that. So the first major issue that I had with the Little Red Riding Hood comic was just the fact that my expectations were not in line with reality, and I kept setting goals for myself that weren't really feasible. For example, when I first started, I was so sure that I was going to be able to do a complete page every workday so that I would be able to do 2 or 3 pages in a week. That did not happen. After some trial and error, I decided to push that back to a page a week. But even then, I kept having trouble getting it done because I was feeling very depressed. Part of it was because, I wasn't meeting these expectations I had for myself. But another part of it is something wasn't feeling right about working on the comic. I wasn't as excited as I used to be when I started doing art, when I started making these videos. Every work day, I was just so happy and so excited, and I couldn't wait for the next work day. But suddenly that magic was gone, and I still wanted to do it. I still wanted it to succeed, but I just kept running up against a wall. Then things started to go wrong. For example, in my last series of videos, you noticed there was no commentary because suddenly I couldn't record it anymore. The system that I was using to record my commentary stopped working, and I was no longer able to do that. Whatever, I told myself, I'll figure out a workaround, I'll push through it. Then, I find that almost the entire progress that I had made on the first page of the comic was gone. I'd had some issues with the iCloud drive and the being saved in multiple places, but different versions of it. And I thought I had gotten it fixed, and I had the full version of the page saved where I needed it to be, only to find out that it was gone, forever lost. So that's when I decided that maybe it was time to move on. And just allowing myself to even consider the idea of giving up on the Little Red Riding Hood project, suddenly it hit me. Immediately I had an idea for a new project to work on that would essentially solve all of the issues that I was having with the Little Red Riding Hood project. I'll be getting more into what the actual project is during next video, which you can see a bit of a sneak peek of in the images in this video. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about something else that I have been working on. As soon as I decided to let go of Little Red Riding Hood and move on to this new project, I have been so much happier, and I found new motivation to work on my business as a whole. So recently I found a YouTube channel called Channel Notes that talks about ways of improving your YouTube channel. And I've been using a lot of the advice from there to work on my branding and overall professionalism, because this is something that I want to pursue as a career. So today's video is actually a part of that. In rebranding, I decided that I wanted to make a YouTube thumbnail template. That way, all of my thumbnails would have a kind of cohesiveness and would all look, really nice and professional, unlike the thumbnails for my last 3 videos, which was just a black background and some text. I gotta be honest, you guys, I feel really ashamed of the quality that I put out for those last 3 videos, but I was just so depressed and so fed up with all of the trouble that I was having. So I hope you will forgive me. I do promise that I am working on making things better and moving on. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, that process, which I wanted to record for you guys today, also fits into today's theme of when to walk away. So originally for this thumbnail template, what I did is I researched a lot of other YouTube artist thumbnails to see what it is that I liked or didn't like about their thumbnails. And one thing that I saw a lot was putting the text, like the name of the image, over a shape. And there was, generally circles or diamonds or square shapes. And I thought about what shape would fit well with me and my style. And I decided I didn't want a simple geometric shape because I didn't really care for geometric shapes very much. So I was going to do this Art Nouveau tree that kind of branched out across the video for the title. And it was going to look really awesome. Except it doesn't really. It works much better in my head than it does in real life. The problem is it's just too busy, too messy, and distracts way too much from the actual image behind it. I tried to fiddle with it a bunch. I got rid of the actual tree trunk part, and I was gonna try to do just the branch across, but it just wasn't working for me, and I didn't know what to do. And I was so upset because this was supposed to be another video too for this week, and I had nothing. So I decided to just take a break for a second and instead work on something else that I wanted to include in the thumbnail, which was my signature. So originally my signature was just an L shape with kind of a half arch squiggly shape coming off of it. And then that eventually evolved into this cute little snail character, fairy snail guy, and I absolutely love him, and I definitely wanted to include him into my thumbnails. So I decided to put aside the tree and work on him for a little while, and I am very happy with the way he turned out. I just wanted it to look like my actual signature, but kind of a cleaned up version of it. So that's all that is. And then once I had him, I decided, well, why don't I just try your simple standard kind of white, partially transparent bar across the image for the text, and that wasn't really feeling right either. So eventually I was just so frustrated, I decided that I just needed to walk away from the computer completely, and I just kind of journaled to help work out my thoughts and feelings. And then I decided, well, the other thing that I wanted to do besides a thumbnail template was I wanted to work on the end card. So I decided to move on to that instead, and I would just worry about the thumbnail and figure that out later. Going back to the topic of improving my quality and professionalism, I'm wondering if you guys have noticed a difference in the audio quality of my voice. A little after that whole issue with not being able to record any commentary, Amazon Prime Day happened and the Blue Yeti went on sale for a really great price. So that is what I'm using to record now instead of the webcam mic that I was using previously. I'm still tweaking a little bit as far as levels and how to get the best quality out of it, but already I am super impressed. So let me know what you guys think. And then still on the topic of audio quality, I've also worked really hard on improving the music selection as well. Before, when I would choose music, it was kind of frustrating because I didn't really know what it was that I was looking for. Most of the copyright-free, royalty-free music available on YouTube is EDM, and I did like a lot of it. Ahimitsu, or however you want to say that, in particular, I really enjoyed. But I was having trouble finding music that really fit the feeling that I was going for. I wanted the sense of magic. And I guess that's kind of a vague concept to capture. But I found I really was drawn more to the orchestral, symphonic kind of music. So I've done a lot more with that. And that would be the perfect segue into the music bit for this video. So please enjoy. Let me know what you think of it. And I will see you at the end. So once I made my end card and finished up my signature logo avatar thing, it occurred to me that majority of the images I'm going to be working on have transparent backgrounds. So I didn't need to have another image laid over top of them, distracting from my art. Instead, what I decided to do to give it a cohesive appearance is I used the background from the end card as well as the same fonts. So here you can see a sneak peek of my next two thumbnails, and I think they look really good. But that's it for today. I do post new art videos every week, so please subscribe for more. And don't forget to tune in next week when I announce my new project. See you then.